Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It's your guy, Boulanger. Up next in this video, we're going to be dealing with what is the potential impact of Odell Beckham Jr. on the Baltimore Ravens offense. Let's go. So first and foremost, what I want to say is my expectations for Odell Beckham Jr. are moderate, not too high and not too low. And here's why. Here's why. We haven't seen Odell Beckham play healthy football since 2020. So we're going on 3 years almost since Odell Beckham has been fairly healthy during the NFL season. Okay. And so as that is true, then I can't put too much stock into what he's going to bring um, to a 2023 season because I don't know how much he's going to play, because we understand sometimes the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And so what we've seen is Odell Beckham not play ball basically from the 2021 Super Bowl, um, well, actually from the 2022 to 2023 Super Bowl. That's 1 year. This is April. So we're looking at 14 months. And by the time the regular season starts, we're going to be looking at May, June, July, August. We're going to be looking at 16 to 17 months since Odell Beckham has played meaningful football. And last time we saw him, he was good. But last time we saw him, he was roughly 28 years old. He's 30 years old now, coming off of a second ACL. Okay. And so I have to make my expectations for him pretty moderate only because of his injury history. Without the injuries, I would probably have higher expectations, but with those injuries, especially for a wide receiver and injuries to his lower extremities, I have to set those at a moderate rate. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that. But I think there's three major ways he can impact this offense. And the first way is I think he can be a leader for the younger receiving squad. Okay. Now, we haven't known Odell to be a leader necessarily, but I think at this point in his life, at this point in his career, I think he could certainly serve as a leader or maybe a mentor for the younger receivers, especially Rashad Bateman. Okay. Rashad Bateman does have the potential to be a star in this league and for the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. He has good height, 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". He has good weight, around 210, and he has excellent speed to be that size and weight. And to run sub 4.4 is great speed for a guy his size. He has shown himself to have good hands for the most part. Okay, we know he's had some drops, but for the most part, he's shown he has good hands. Rashad Bateman has shown he can, break big plays. But I think it's going to be what he does in that 10 to 15, 10 to 20-yard range, where he gets in and out of breaks, where he has good timing on slants, where he becomes even a better hands catcher, that kind of thing. I think those kind of things is what Odell Beckham can mentor Rashad Bateman into learning and developing. Not that he doesn't have those skills, but I'm talking about homing in on his craft even more. Okay. For a young guy like a Devin Duvernay, if he's still on the team in 2023, I think that he could help him develop even more as a better slot receiver. Devin Duvernay already has elite speed, so he can't teach him speed, of course, but he can certainly teach him how to operate in the slot a little more effectively. Again, in and out of breaks, how to set up the defender, all those kind of things, and maybe even help Duvernay track the ball a little better. So I certainly think that he can be a mentor or a leader for a young receiving squad. Okay, so that's the first impact I think Odell Beckham can have on this receiving corps, and specifically holistically for the offense. I think a second way he can impact the offense is whether he goes for 1,000 yards or not, right? That's not even the question, because I'm not sure if he should go for 1,000 yards, because I would like to see, the ball distribute pretty evenly. But I think that he becomes a gravitational pull, okay, for Bateman, for Mark Andrews, for Nelson Aguilar when Aguilar's on the field, for Likely. I think he becomes a pull. You see, because when Odell steps on the field, whether he's, you know, whether he's got 7 catches and 90 yards, or whether he has 3 catches and 30 yards, a defense is still going to have to pay attention to him, because um, in name alone, uh, he has the respect of a defense and his defender. And so whether he takes or whether he draws the assignment of the best cornerback on the opposite team, or whether he draws a double team, or whether the defense just has to slide the defense in his direction, whatever that looks like, I think he can be a gravitational pull uh, for a defense to pull some defenders away from the other receivers. And I think Mark Andrews, of course, and Bateman being those primary guys. And Isaiah Likely, I think he'll get a lot more run this year as well. I think that they could benefit from him being able to pull the defense in his direction. So I think he will certainly help in that way as well. So one, mentor leader for a young receiving corps, be a gravitational pull to pull some attention from the other receivers. And then even specifically, let me be even more specific on that second one. So imagine if you line up Odell left side, out wide, Bateman right side out wide, Aguilar in the slot, Andrews in his position at tight end. The question's gonna be, is anybody getting doubled? Because we understand when Andrews is healthy, what he can do. Okay. We don't fully know what Bateman can do because we haven't seen him play more than 10 games in a season up until this point. But if Bateman's healthy, how can, think about it, when you got Odell and Bateman, neither one of those guys are getting double covered, because it's going to uncover other guys. Aguilar has shown an ability to stretch the field from that slot position. And so I think that again, just in name alone, he's gonna draw some attention and create, some one-on-one matchups. It'll make the defense play them even, rather than trying to double and disguise coverages and things like that. So I think that's one way Beckham helps this offense. And then I think a third way that Odell Beckham Jr. impacts this offense is it's going to make the run game even better. Okay. Now, when I say run game, I'm excluding Lamar Jackson. We understand that Lamar Jackson has been the leading rusher for the Baltimore Ravens basically the last 5 years. Okay. And that's never good for a quarterback to be that. In fact, I got a hot video coming out probably Friday night, Saturday morning, that you guys must watch on Lamar Jackson. Okay. I'll give you some more detail about it, and as we get closer to that time. But the truth is this, Odell will help out that offense. Why? Because across the board, they're going to have to play man coverage. But even if they don't play man, they play zone. It's going to pull stack defenders from having to be in that box, right? We understand that before, like when you were lining up last year, Bateman, Duvernay, and I guess at times, Demarcus Robinson, they wasn't creating a whole lot of fear in defenses. Do they have skill and potential and ability? Yes, but they wasn't making no defenses afraid. And so if you remember those plays where Rashad Bateman caught those long touchdowns, that was when defenses were pulled closer to the line. And so it was basically a good release, get into his route, catch the ball, and turn on the speed. You see, because the defenses were drawn down to the line of scrimmage because the run game is such a threat. Okay. And so, meaning the boxes were stacked. And so we understand that the boxes are stacked a whole lot. But now when you line up again, Beckham, Bateman, Andrews, and Aguilar, and I don't know how much they'll use Aguilar. Aguilar over likely over Aguilar. I'm not 100% sure. But when you line up those guys and you got 3 to 4 receivers on the field, that defense, now they could stack the box, but they're going to pay for it, right? Why? Because you have a credible name on the outside that defenses have to honor. Okay? Defenses wasn't really worried about Demarcus Robinson uh, going deep necessarily. They weren't really worried about Devin Duvernay going deep because the Baltimore Ravens offense wasn't set up to do that. Although they had a lot of deep routes, they wasn't set up to hit those routes. Okay, and then the receiver that was over there, you could play those guys with a second or third cornerback and still be effective defensively. But now, when you have to honor both Beckham and Bateman, Andrews is patrolling the middle. Likely is going to be patrolling that middle. Aguilar is going to be working inside out. Now you make the defense come out of that stacked box, and if because I've heard some things, and this is all if LJ is there. Okay, let me be clear, but I've heard Monken talking about speeding up the offense, which sounds like they may let the quarterback get to the line of scrimmage and check in and out of plays, which would be great for the run game, because now when you got the defense spread out, they can't stack the box. You can check into a run, you can check out of a run, and so I think that back up again, here we have that pull. He's gonna pull them out of a stacked defense, and if they don't single coverage, I think that we have some weapons or potential weapons that will certainly be able to um, catch the ball, move the chains, or even take it the distance. And then when the box is not stacked, so we're only facing a 6-man front, a 7-man front, something like that. I think we've shown that with this offensive line, minus Ben Powers, we got to figure that out. But this offensive line has proven that they could get busy in the run game and be super, super effective. And so we still bring back 3 of the 4 guys from last year. Of course, Dobbins, who I think will be more of a workhorse this year, Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. So I think that we have the backs who can do some things, do some real damage. And so I think that the Beckham factor improves that run game. And we were already, 4.5, 5 yards, 6 yards a carry at times in games last year. And so I think making that defense honest, I think allows us to do that again. So, and then take the running off of Lamar. I think if Lamar runs, it should be on a true scramble, meaning he's back there, the lane opens up, receivers don't come open quick enough, and he takes off for 15, 20 yards and gets down. That's how the running should happen. He should not be running for 1,000 yards a season as a quarterback. And that's exciting when he does that, meaning Lamar Jackson. And as you guys can tell, I'm speaking as if Lamar Jackson is going to be in-house. But we don't know that. We don't know that. So I'm speaking based on right now. Okay. I'm speaking based on right now. And I do believe that I think it's a greater chance he's back in Baltimore. At this point, I think it's 55-45. 55% he's back, 45% he goes. And I have another vid coming up tonight that talks about why I think that we should be leaning more to Lamar Jackson coming back in 2023 than going away. So listen, that's my take, man. Let me know what you guys want me to know uh, about the take. Let me know what you think Odell Beckham's impact on this offense or potential impact could be for the Baltimore Ravens offense in 2023. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit share. I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and I am out.